Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have another one of these videos where I remake an old squishy. So almost a year ago on Saturday, it would have been a year, I made a unicorn squishy. I really tried at it and it didn't turn out quite the way I hoped, but I was really proud of it when I first made it, and I discovered it this week and I was like, oh my goodness, what is that? So I hope you're ready for this, but here is the unicorn squishy that I made this time last year. Now the thing is, this looks quite white on camera, but in person it's very yellowy cream colour. If I just take some acrylic paint here, hopefully you can see the difference. It's almost like the same colour as my skin tone. I don't know what went wrong there or why it's this weird beigey cream colour. Also, I didn't actually paint the feet, which I don't know why. Maybe I stood it up and painted the rest and never got round to it, but I didn't paint the feet. The tail and the kind of main part are this really strange dusky pink colour, not something that I would use today, and it's kind of like stuck on itself where it's kind of like, you know, the paint is kind of stuck. I don't know. The face I'm not keen on. I don't like these wonky little nose bits. The horn is just a little bit bent. I'm not sure if that happened at the time or if that's just happened over time with the way I've stored it. But yeah, this is the original one that I made last year. So I did, of course, try and make one very similar to this, but just in today's style. I'm really happy with how it came out. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is give you the tutorial to that one and then compare them both at the end.
So the first thing I did was took a Sharpie pen and I drew out 4 little circles and then cut around them, focusing on each one to make the little legs. I just smoothed out each individual leg, like individually, so that they were nice and rounded and really smooth. I then went on to round off the body just by making lots of slits and smoothing it out. I then made a little head shape, kind of like a little egg, and stuck that to the very top of the body. I then took an off-cut piece of foam and just shaped out a little unicorn horn by making long snips and stuck that to the middle of the head. I then made some chicken dipper-like shapes and put little indentations down on them and glued them down also. I started first of all making one for the tail, and I then made about 5 others for the actual mane so that it was nice and flowy. I just stuck these on with the same glue, just going all the way around the horn. Once I was happy with the overall shape, I just went ahead and painted the whole squishy in a white puffy paint mixture, which was just puffy paint by the brand Tulip with some PVA glue mixed in. I did 5 layers of the white in total, and this took me about 3 days to do, leaving it to dry in between each layer. Once all of the white was fully on there, I then went in and painted on my design. So I actually went in with a light blue, a lilac and a light pink, and I just painted the separate parts of the mane in these colours and then did an ombre effect on the tail, making sure to blend each colour as I went along so that it faded really nicely throughout the whole thing. Once I was completely done with the colour, I then moved on with a Tulip Metallics paint in the colour gold and just painted on some accents. So I painted the horn in the gold, and then I decided actually the colours needed a little bit of glitter, so I actually went in with the Tulip glitter in the colour Diamond, which is a really nice iridescent glitter, and it actually dries clear, so it's perfect to put over colour. I then realised I forgot the ears, so I actually just used some Tulip puffy paint and puffy painted those ears on to make them nice and 3D, and popped a line of pink in between. I then painted on the eyes with a Scribbles fabric paint in just the colour Shiny Black. And then I decided I needed even more gold because it was looking a bit boring at this point. So I popped on some heart-shaped blush either side of the eyes in the gold, and then a nice golden heart on the little unicorn's butt. I then left all the paint to fully dry, and that took about another 2 to 3 hours, and then my squishy was then complete.
This is what today's one looked like at the finished product. I think it looks so much better. I didn't actually intend to make it so much bigger, but I figured I would get a more kind of better body if I started with the legs and then kind of shaped it outwards, and it just ended up being so big. The legs from my old one to compared to the new one are pretty much the same size. It's just the body and everything that has changed. I like the colour a lot better. It's actually white rather than this weird yellow creamy colour. Maybe you can see it in the shadow there on the old one, but yeah, this is what it looks like from behind. I like the ombre a lot better and stuff on the tail. Like the tail actually has some like, I don't know what you'd call that, like texture, and then I've obviously ombreed it across with glitter over it. I absolutely love it. I'm not sure if the glitter's picking up or not, but it's kind of like an iridescent glitter, which is really, really pretty. I also popped a little gold heart on the butt because I figured it looked a little bit plain back there and it just needed something a little bit extra, so I just popped a gold heart. The mane, I popped it on with loads of bits of foam, so it looked like it was kind of flowing, and then I kind of made them in the purple, pink and blue to kind of match in with the tail and go down with the pastel kind of colouring. I also made the horn gold on this one because I just think the gold accents make it look so much better than it actually is. The kind of blush I actually made into a heart shape because I seen a squishy the other day that had a heart shaped blush on and I was obsessed. So I knew I wanted to include that in a DIY like upcoming, so this one here fit perfectly, so I made that in gold also. I didn't actually put nose or like little dots on this one because I didn't like it on the original, but I made the eyes a lot bigger on the side of the head. I did forget about the ears on this one, which I was really, really annoyed about, but I did actually pop them on with puffy paint so it stood out a bit and then put a bit of pink in, and I think it works really, really well. I'm not sure if you could see in person or not, but it is raised, so they do look like little ears. And then the feet, I popped the feet down in a gold just to match the rest of the accents on the squishy, and I think it looks really, really nice. So squishy wise, as you can see, this new one is 100 times better. I can still see it rising. It's just so much more slow rising, so much softer, and it's just a lot better size in my hand. So I'm really, really happy with that. Let me give it a squish this way as well. Like you can actually hear the air coming out of that one. Can you hear the air? Oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm really, really happy with the squishiness of this one in comparison to this one. I think it just proves how much can change obviously in a year. Like they are the same squishy design in my head, but they've just translated so much more differently, and I think I'm definitely becoming better at squishies, thank the Lord. I do wish that I did a little bit more shaping along here because obviously there are some ridges. I feel like I could smooth that out a bit better, but overall I'm really, really, really happy with this design and how it came out. And yeah, let me know which one you prefer. I know I've done 3 of these videos before and so many people have been like, I prefer the old one, but in this case I'm fairly certain that you'll prefer the new one. But yeah, let me know down in the comments either way. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up as it really does help me along my way, and I will see you very soon for another video. Bye!